Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com looking at some algebra. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplication. We're multiplying polynomials. Alright, we'll click on the first one there. Okay, so it says find f, and that dot right there means multiplication. So find f times g, and then write in standard form. Okay, so we have f is equal to 3 and g is equal to 2x. So we'll go over here to the whiteboard and get that written up. So we said that f is equal to 3 and g is equal to 2x. Okay, and we want to multiply, we want to find 5 times g. So that's just simply 3 times, and we'll put a parentheses around this 2x here. Okay, I mean it's not necessary, but we did it anyway. So we got 3 times 2 is 6x. So that's it. So f times g is equal to 6x. Let's go back. Let's check everything. 6x. Whoa, that's capital X, wrong x. Okay, looks good. Alright, well, let's move on to something a little bit more difficult. Hey, we're going to go to math. Go up to algebra. Let's go down to multiplication. And we're looking at 1.2. Okay, it says find f times g. So that black dot there between f and g means multiplication. If you didn't know. 8x plus 2g is equal to 8x plus 2. I'm writing that down. Alright. And of course I forgot to erase the last problem. We'll get that taken care of rightly. So f is equal to, once again, just a constant 3, and then g is equal to 8x plus 2. Actually, I was looking at the last problem on my paper. That's a 6. Alright, and it's asked to find f times g. So you're going to have 6. We're going to start a parentheses here. 8x plus 2. And so now we just go ahead and distribute that 6 across. So we end up with 48x plus, and 6 times 2 is 12. Okay, and of course this is going to be in standard form. So hopefully you watched that previous section on adding and subtracting polynomials and know what standard form is. But remember, the way this works is for example, this has a power of 1, and of course you could say there's an x here, but it has a power of 0. And remember, with a real number raised to the 0 power, remember what this is? This is equal to 1. Okay, equal to 1. So there's really just a 1 here, and 12 times 1 is 12. So we write this, remember, in descending order, from left to right. Okay, no big deal. So we've got 48x plus 12. Let's click over here and see what the computer says. 48x plus 12, and we'll go ahead and type that in. Make sure the programming is correct. It is. Alright, so come on by, practice, and I'll see you later. Okay, so we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplication and click on 2.1. Alright, it says find f times g times h and write in standard form. So let me write this down. F is equal to 4, g is equal to 5x, and h is equal to 7x. Okay. So we're asked to find f times g times h. And by the way, this should be the same as g times f times h, or h times f times g, right? Okay, so how many permutations are there? Well, there's 3 of them right there. What do you got? You have 3 for the first, 2 for the second, 6 of them. Well, anyway, okay, I thought I would just mention that. So f is equal to, what do we got? 4. G is 5x, and h is 7x. Okay, so we're going to have f times g times h is equal to 4 times 5x times 7x. So we got 4 times 5 is 20. And of course we have, here we'll just do this one at a time here. Alright, and now we have x times x is x squared. And 20 times 7 is 140x squared, right? 20 times 7. Okay, so there you go, 140x squared. And of course, g times f times h would be 140x squared. All right. 140x squared, making sure that's all good. 140x squared. Alright, correct. Okay. So we're over here at gotomath.com practicing, and I'll see you there. Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplication, and we are, okay, I think we're doing that one there. Find f times g times h and write in standard form. So I'm going to write this down. F is equal to 4 once again. I think in the last problem it was equal to 4. 9x, of course these numbers are randomly chosen. 8 plus 2x. Alright. So we're asked to find f times g times h. And of course f is going to be 4. G is going to be 9x, and h is equal to 8x plus 2x. 8 plus 2x, and let me change it. Let's see, 8 plus 2x, yeah, 9x and 4. Okay, just making sure. So we want to find f times g times h, and so we're going to have 4 times 9x, and we're going to multiply that by 8 plus 2x. Okay, and so what do we get here? We get 36x. We'll rewrite this part here. Alright, and so now we have distributing that 36x across, we're going to have 36 times 8. So we're going to have 36, whoa, need to multiply that. So 36 times 8 is, let's see, 6 times 8 is 48, 24, so 288. X plus, and then we'll go ahead and distribute 36x times the 2x, and of course that's 72x. 72x squared. Okay, but we'll remember we want to rewrite this. We want to make sure we write it in standard form, and that means that right, the degree of this polynomial is 2. So we're going to write 72x squared first plus 288x. Okay, so that will be in standard form. Alright, so let's go over here. 72x x squared plus 288x. Alright. Okay, looks good. Alright, so we're over here at gotomath.com. Come on by, you can practice. See you later. Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplication. And we are doing 3.1. It says find f times g and write in standard form. Write in standard form. So let's write this down. F is equal to x plus 5 and g is equal to x plus 9. Alright. So we want to find f times g. Okay. So f is equal to x plus 5 and g is equal to x plus 9, and we want to find f times g. Alright, so I'm going to put a parentheses around both these guys like that. Alright. Now, there's a word, well, anyway, FOIL, that helps us to remember how to multiply this thing out. But, you know, it's basically what you're doing here is you're going through all the different combinations. Now, you could also think of it this way. You could take this whole thing and do the distributive property and take this whole thing and multiply it by x, then take the whole thing and multiply it by 9, and then go that route if you wanted to. But a lot of the times we just follow this. So first term, f stands for first. All right. The first term, the outer term, the inner term, and the last term. Okay. So x times x, these would be our first terms, and that's going to be x squared. The outer terms would be x times the 9, so that would be 9x. The inner terms, that would be 5 and x. Right. And then the last terms, 5 and 9, which is 45. Okay, so just think of it this way. X times x times 9, 5 times x, and then 5 times 9. Okay, and so somebody did that and they were like, wow, that spelled a word. Anyway, FOIL, is that a word? But it's pronounced foil. Okay, let's go ahead and write this in standard form. So we have x squared plus, collect up our like terms, that's going to be 14x, and then plus 45. There you go. Okay, and then of course we got a section on factoring where we're going to go from here and get that, which is a little bit more difficult. Alright, so let's go over. Alright, back to the page. Hopefully that's it. X squared plus 14x plus 45. You can type that in there. Check that out if you want. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, we're over here at gotomath.com practicing. See you later. Okay, so we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to, what are we going down to? Multiplication and 3.2. 3.2 says find f times g, write in standard form. Alright, so I'll need to write this down. F is equal to 9x plus 2 and g is equal to x plus 6. Alright, find f times g. Okay, so we know that f is equal to 9 times x plus 2 and g is equal to x plus 6, and we want to find f dot g. Alright, so we'll go ahead and write this out. Okay, so a couple ways we can do this. We could ignore this 9 and go ahead and multiply these together and then distribute the 9 across if we wanted to, or we could just go ahead and distribute the 9 across now and then multiply them together. And you know what? We'll just do that. So 9 times x is 9x, and then 9 times 2 is 18. Now let's go ahead and put a parentheses around that. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and now multiply. Now remember, FOIL. So the first terms, 9x times x is 9x squared. 9x times 6, that'd be your outer terms. 6 times 9 is 54x. 18 times x. And then, of course, 18 times 6. Let's see, that's 4 is 108. 106, 108. Yep. Plus 108. Alright. 9x squared plus. So we have 54 plus 18. We're collecting up our like terms now, which gives us 72. 5, 6, 7, yeah, 72x plus 108. Alright, so it wasn't too bad. Okay, 9x squared plus 72x plus 108. And of course, it's already in standard form. 9x squared plus 72x plus 108. Okay. Alright, so we're over here at gotomath.com. You can come on by practice, and I'll see you later. Hey, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplication, and we are going to be looking at 4.1. Once again, find f times g and write in standard form. So let's do that. So we have f is equal to 8x plus 3 and g is equal to 5x minus 13. Okay, so we have f is equal to 8x plus 3 and g is equal to 5x minus 13. Okay, we're just making sure. And remember, right there, we're trying to find f times g. So f dot g is equal to, we'll start a parentheses, 8x plus 3, and then 5x minus 13. So remember, we're following FOIL, first terms. So 8x times 5x is 40x squared, then 8x times, these are your outer terms, 8x times 13 is going to be, well, we know it's minus, okay. 0, 4x, 3 times 5, that's going to be 15x, and then 3 times 13, which is 39. And actually, got a positive and a minus, that's going to be minus 39, right? Okay, so we have 40x squared. Now we have a negative 104 plus 15. Or you could say 15 minus 104. And I'm getting a minus negative 89 there. X minus 39. Okay. So like I said in a section coming up where we factor, we'll be going back in the opposite direction where we're given this and we want to find this here, right? So anyway, what do we got? 40x squared minus 89x minus 39. Can we all remember that? 40x squared minus 89x minus 39. All right. So we're over here at gotomath.com. You can come on by, practice. See you later. Hey, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplication. And we're going to be looking at 4.2, which you can barely see on the screen there. Find f times g right in standard form. So we're dealing with a coefficient here that's a fraction. That won't be a problem. Okay. And I can see here that should have been written differently there, but that's alright. So let's go ahead and write this down. So this is 4.2. Alright, so we have f is equal to, and of course the cursor is in the way, 4/17 x plus 4, and then g is equal to 5x plus 3. Okay, let's get in here. So we're wanting to find f times g. F is equal to 4/17 x plus 4, and g is equal to 5x plus 3. Okay, so we're wanting to find f times g, so we're going to have 4/17 x plus 4 and 5x plus 3. Okay, so the first terms, we're going to multiply them together. So we have 4/17 times 5x, that's going to be 20/17, right? 20/17, and then that'll be x squared. And then of course 4/17x times 3, that's going to end up being 12/17x, right? 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, 4 times 5x is 20x, and 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, and so let's see, we want to collect up our like terms. That's going to be these two here, which means that we need to add these two fractions together. Do a little side work over here. 12/17 plus 20. So we're going to need to get a common denominator, and so we can now join these together. So we have 12 plus 20 times 17. What a mess. 12 plus 20 times 17 is 352 over 17. Okay. Alright, so we have, let's go back to blue here. So we're going to have 20/17. It's like I'm running out of screen here. Let's see, what will it do? That's what I was afraid of. Okay, so we have 20/17 x squared, and then plus 352 over 17 x, and then plus 12. Remember, we added 12/17 plus 20 together. Okay, now in the green checkbox, if you're going to type this in, it should be typed in like this. You're going to put a parentheses around a fraction if it's a coefficient, and yeah, okay, So that should be the way that it should be typed in. I hope I have that thing programmed correctly. I don't know. Can't remember. It's been a while since I've done this. Been quite some time, actually. 352 over 17. 20 over 17x squared plus 352 over 17x plus 12. We're going to go in here because, as much as I hate to do this, I'm going to check this just in case. It just seems like I would have written that example that was in the box. If this was done correctly, I'll probably have to go in and program this thing. We're going to find out here in a second. That's what I was afraid of. Okay, well, I'll get that fixed. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Okay, so we're over here at gotomath.com doing something. Multiplying polynomials. We're over here at gotomath.com, and I'll see you there. Hey, we're over at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplication. And I believe we're looking at 5.1. Expand the expression and write in standard form. What does that mean? Expand the expression. Expand the expression. X plus 2 quantity squared. Write in standard form. Well, expand the expression means just pretty much that. We're going to make it bigger. I don't know. We're going to expand it. X plus 2. So what is this? Well, there's two of them, right? So we have x plus 2 times x plus 2. See that? And then we just multiply them together. So we have x times x is x squared. Right, plus, and then x times 2 is 2x. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times 2 is 4. Okay? So we end up with x squared plus, collect your like terms, 4x, and then plus 4. So that's all we need to do. That's it. So we'll go up here, click on the answer, and there you go. And because of the last problem, I'm going to check this. Hope everything checks out. Correct. Good. Thank goodness. Hate to be interrupted to go do something else. Alright, so we're over here at gotomath.com practicing our math. Come on by, check it out, see you later. Alright, so we're over here at 5. We're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplication, and I believe we're looking at 5.2. 5.2. So a lot like 5.1. We're going to expand the expression and then write in standard form. Alright, so let's go to the whiteboard. We have the 2x, I about said absolute value, didn't mean to say that. 2x plus 1 in parentheses squared. So another way of writing this is 2x plus 1 times 2x plus 1, because there's two of them. See that? Now we want to go ahead and multiply these guys together. So 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times 1 is 2x. 1 times 2x is 2x, and then 1 times 1 is 1. Of course, we want to collect up all our like terms. 2x plus 2x is 4x, and then plus 1. Okay? So there you go. 4x squared plus 4x plus 1. That looks like that's it right there. And we're going to go ahead and check that out, even though, gosh darn it, cursor wanted to do what it wanted to do there. Getting in the way. Boom, not correct. Okay, well, I'll have to go in there and check the programming. I hate that. That was the answer, right? 4x squared plus 4x plus 1. Okay. I'll get that taken care of. That's the reason I plugged that in there, to check that, just to make sure. And if you happen to run across something like that where you know that's the answer, please go by Contact Us button and let me know. Alright. Okay, so come on by, practice. I'll have to get that corrected. What a nuisance. We're over here at gotomath.com. Check it out. See you later. Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplication. And we are going to be doing 6.1. 6.1. Okay. Expand the expression. Actually, the expression is expanded. Write in standard form. I probably need to rewrite that. Form the indicated multiplications and write in standard form. Probably what I need to say. Okay, I'm just writing this down. Okay, we got it. We got it. So we have x plus 1. Of course, we got to rewrite the problem. X plus 7. And then x plus 5. Alright, so we're going to, doesn't matter how you do this, we're going to go ahead and just multiply these two here first. Or you could multiply these here first if you want. And you know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to multiply these two here first to show you can do that. So x plus 7 times x plus 5. It doesn't matter. You can multiply x plus 1 times x plus 5 if you want. Alright, so we got x times x is x squared. Plus, and then we have x times 5 is 5x. And I'm not sure why I wrote two addition signs there. We got 7x. And then 7 times 5 is 35. Alright, so we'll want to clean this up a little bit. So we end up with 12x plus 35. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bring this x plus 1 down now. Alright. Now, we want to go ahead and multiply this x plus 1 times the x squared plus 12x plus 35. So we have x times x squared is x cubed. X times 12x is 12x squared. X times 35, 35x. Okay. 1 times x squared. 1 times 12x. And then 1 times 35. They're all the combinations there. Now let's clean this up and write this in standard form, which means we'll be writing x cubed first. It is the largest power. And collect up some like terms. We have a 12x and an x squared here. Right, and so that's going to be 13x squared. We have a 35x and a 12x, and so that's going to end up being 3, 4, T7x, and then 35 is our only constant term. Okay. Written in standard form, there you go. X cubed plus 13x squared plus 47x plus 35. X cubed plus 13x squared. Is that what I had? Yeah. 47x plus 35. Okay. Alright, well, we're over here at gotomath.com, and by the way, I did check this before I did this video in the box. We're not going to be experiencing that no more like we did in the last problem. I'll be checking those for sure. Okay, so we're over here at gotomath.com. Come on by, practice. See you later. Hey, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplication. And we're going to be looking at 6.2, it looks like. So in the previous problem, if you did the previous problem, you shouldn't have any problems with this one. Okay. Cursor doing some weird stuff there. So this is 6.2. Alright, so we have x plus 7 times x squared plus 6x plus 5. Alright. Okay, so we have x plus 7 times x squared plus 6x plus 5. Alright, so what we're going to want to do is multiply x times x squared, so that's going to give us an x cubed. X times 6x, that's 6x squared. X times 5, that's 5x. 7 times x squared. And then 7 times 6x, that'll be 42x. And, right, yeah. And then 7 times 5 is 35. Right, and then, of course, we're writing this in standard form. We're going to start with x cubed. So collect up our like terms. We've got 6x squared plus 7x squared, and that's going to be 13x squared. Right. And then we have 5x and 42x, and that's going to end up being 47x. And then, of course, our only constant term is 35. Okay? So we have x cubed plus 13x squared plus 47x plus 35. Let's hit the answer there. X cubed plus 13x squared. Man, I swear this is just like the last problem we did, but seems like it is. It comes out to be the same one. I don't know. Alright, maybe not. Trust that that's correct. Okay, so there it is. We're over here at gotomath.com practicing, and I'll see you later. Okay, we're at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplication and finish up this section, hopefully. I believe we are 7.1. Alright, so it says perform the multiplication and write in standard form. Not sure why I have multiplication capitalized, but okay. So I'm writing this down. Right. Heading over here to the whiteboard. So we have 2x plus 7 quantity squared times 5x plus 8. Okay, so we want to go ahead and expand this out. I think that's probably what it should say. So we have two of these, and what we can do here is we'll just write it out like this. So there's two of them. Let's go ahead and expand this out and multiply and get it in standard form, and then we'll take it and multiply it by the 5x plus 8. How's that? So we have 2x times 2x, that's going to be 4x squared, and then we have 2x times 7, that's going to give us 14x, 7 times 2x, and that's 14x, and 7 times 7 is 49. Now after a while you won't even have to write this out, you'll just be able to look at this and pretty much know what it is. I mean, we got 2 times 2x times 2x, 7 times 7, 2x times 7, 7 times 2x, da, da, da. Alright, so let's go ahead and write this out again. So if we got 4x squared, collecting up our like terms, that's going to be 28x, and then plus 49. Alright. And now what we're going to do is go ahead and now multiply it by the 5x plus 8. Now you can write this 5x plus 8 over here on the right, or you could write it over on the left. Doesn't matter. However you want to do it. Okay, but what does matter is we go through all the combinations here. We got 4x squared times 5x, so that's going to give us 20x cubed, right? X squared times x cubed, and then we have plus. Now we'll go to this one here, 28x times 5x. So 28 times 5 is 140, and that's going to be x squared because we have an x times an x. Alright, let's see how we doing this. And then let's see, 49 times 5x, so we have 49 times 5, which is 245. Okay, so that was 4x squared times 5x, 28x times 5x, and 49 times 5x. Okay, and we could write this down below, or we could write it, I don't know, it doesn't matter, we just keep writing it out. Alright, so let's now do this one here. 4x squared times 8, and 4 times 8 is 32. X squared. We have 28 times 8, and 28 times 8 is going to be 224. 224x, and then we have 49 times 8, and that's going to be 392. Okay, so there you go. Now let's collect all our like terms up. We've only got one with the x cubed here, so we'll write that. Plus, and now we have, let's see, an x squared here, an x squared here. So we'll go ahead and add their coefficients. So that should be 172, right? 172x squared. Okay. And what's going to be the next one? Well, we got 245x and 224, right? So that's going to be, let's see, 245 and 469, I believe. I sure hope that's right. I should probably get a calculator out, and then plus 392. Doing this stuff in my head could cost me here. Okay, so there you go. Alright, well, let's head over and hopefully. So we have 20x cubed, 172x squared, 469x, and 392. Alright, looks good. I've already checked it in the box, so should work out there. Alright, so we're over here somewhere. Where are we? We're over here at gotomath.com. Come on by, practice. See you later. Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplication. And I think we just did 7.1. So let's look at that one actually looks like one we did earlier. Nah, kinda. Not quite. Alright, so this is going to be 7.2. And I'm going to sketch this one down real quick here. 4 minus 8x squared. Okay, got it. Form the multiplication right in standard form. I think I need to make the m in multiplication a small caps. Well, I hope this stuff is helping you. Some of the basics of algebra. Once you really get this this algebra section down, moving into trigonometry and doing calculus is going to be actually pretty easy, believe it or not. Well, I shouldn't actually say that with trigonometry. There's just a lot to remember in trigonometry. We've got 2x times 4 is 8x. And then 2x times, we got this minus 8x squared, so that's going to be minus 16x cubed. Okay. And then we have this minus 10 times 4, that's going to be minus 40. And then minus 10 times minus 8x squared is going to be a positive 80x squared. Yes, lots to remember. We want to go ahead and collect up any like terms, which there isn't any. These are all completely different monomials. And then we want to go ahead and write it in standard form. So we're going to have minus, I should say negative, 16x cubed. And of course the next term will be 80x squared plus 8x and then minus 40. So that should do it there for us. Okay, so we have a negative 16x cubed plus 80x squared plus 8x and then minus 40. Alright, it all looks good. So you can come on by. It's not what I meant to hit. Gotomath.com. Practice. See you later. Hey, we're at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplication. And we're doing 8.1. We'll just click on that. How's that? Okay. Alright, let's checking that out. What are we doing? Let's write that down. That's what we're doing. So this is 8.1. We got 6x minus 2 times 6x plus 2. Now there's a shortcut way of doing this problem if you see a particular pattern, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. So let's go ahead and write this out. 6x minus 2 times 6x plus 2. Okay, so the pattern is we notice that we both have a 6x here and we both have a 2. However, one's a minus and one's a plus. So after we multiply this out and get it in standard form, let's see if you can see the pattern. Okay, so let's go ahead and multiply this out. So 6x times 6x is 36x squared. 6x times positive 2 is 12x. And then we have a negative 2 times 6x minus 12x. And then negative 2 times positive 2 gives us a negative 4. So after we cancel out some terms here, we're left with 36x squared minus 4. So as you can see here, if we have the form, for example, ax minus b times ax plus b, what do we end up getting? Well, we end up getting a squared x squared minus b squared, you see. So a would happen to be 6, and 6 squared is 36. And then, of course, this is b, and you end up getting minus b squared, or 2 squared is 4. Okay? So you want to be able to go from here to here, and you want to be able to go, obviously, from here to here real fast without having to do all this stuff here. Okay? Got it? 36x squared minus 4. You could also see this as 6x quantity squared minus 2 squared, right? But I think this is going to be the one that we're going to be looking for. Alright, so let's click on that. There you go, 36x squared minus 4. Alright, so we're over here at gotomath.com practicing. Come on by. Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplication. And we're looking at 8.2 here. It looks like perform the multiplication and write in standard form. 8.2. So we have x minus 8 times x squared plus 8x plus 64. Okay. Got that. So we'll just rewrite that right up here. X minus 8 x squared times x squared plus 8x. Seems like we've done a problem like this before, but I guess we're just going to practice, right? Oh yeah, I see something going on. So there's a shortcut. You see a particular pattern here. There's a shortcut. You can just go and write it out real fast without having to multiply all this stuff out. But we'll talk about that here in just a second. Okay, and the previous problem, that was the difference of two squares, and this is going to end up being something similar, kind of. Difference of something else. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. We have x times x squared is x cubed. X times 8x is 8x squared. X times 64 is 64x. Now let's go through here. We got do the other one. We got negative 8 times x squared. You can say negative 8. This is minus 8, however you want to do that. And then got negative 8 times this. That's going to be negative 64x. Now you notice we have a positive 64 and a minus 64. And then of course we've got negative 8 times 64. And let's see, 8 times 64, so that's 24, 512, yeah. Alright, so that's going to be a minus and a positive, so that's going to be a minus 512. Okay, so that should be all of them. Should have 6 terms here. And of course, we want to collect up the like ones. Those guys are canceling out, it looks like, I just noticed. And then these guys here canceling out. And so we're left with x cubed minus 512. Minus 512. Now, this could actually be written as x cubed minus 8 cubed. Right, x cubed minus 8 cubed. 8 cubed should be 512. Yes, it is. Okay, so this is actually the difference of 2 cubes. And to go from here to here, okay, there's that little formula that you're going to follow, and we'll talk about that later. But once you see this, you got to go, oh, that's the difference of 2 cubes, and 8 happens, right, to be this term here, cubed. Anyway, so a little insight on what we might be seeing coming up here in the future when it comes to factoring. Okay. Alright. And these are things that you're going to definitely have to know how to do later on in the story. Alright, actually it's a pretty long story. Let's get over here to back to the page. So we have x cubed minus 512, and we're going to check this just for the heck of it. I don't know why that came up. It just did. So we have x cubed minus 512. Correct, good. Alright, so we're over here somewhere. We're over here at gotomath.com practicing. Come on by, get it taken care of. Bye. Alright. My leg was going to sleep on me there. We're at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplication. And, looks like 9.1. Oh, how lovely that is. Expand the expression, write in standard form. Okay. Well, I'll need to write this one down for sure. X minus a fifth quantity squared minus 1 over 25. Okay. Got it. So we have x minus 1/5 quantity squared minus 1 over 25. Okay. So we're going to need to expand this thing out, and that means we got x minus a fifth times x minus a fifth. Gotta love those fractions. And then we've got minus 125 over here. I guess we'll go ahead and just write it out like that. Alright, so let's go ahead and multiply this thing out. So we have x times x is x squared. Then we're going to have x, let's see, that's minus 1/5 x, and then minus 1/5 x. That's going to be this 1/5 times x, and then minus 1/5 times negative 1/5 is positive 1 over 25. Now remember, we got this minus over here, 1 over 25. I don't know if it's coincidence or what, but here we'll use a different color. Those guys are going to cancel out, aren't they? That's nice. And so we have x squared minus, now there's two of these. Here's some like terms. There's two of them. So we could actually say 2/5 x, right? We could say 2/5 x written in standard form, and I hope that's how they're wanting it. Now if you're typing it into the checkbox, it should be in the green checkbox. It should be, remember we put our fractions if they're coefficients. We want to make sure we put them in parentheses, okay? Because that'd be basically how you do it if you were typing this into a calculator. I guess you could write it like that. That is also one way of doing it, but we're trying to keep one convention and not have different ones. Okay. Hope that's how they're wanting this. Yeah. Okay, just making sure. X squared minus 2/5 times x. Okay, and you could have the x up here in the numerator, but keeping it like that. Okay. Alright, so that was 9.1. Okay, that's good enough. We are somewhere. We're over here at gotomath.com. Come on by, practice. See you later. Hey, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplication. And it looks like 9.2 maybe. Hopefully that's what we're supposed to be doing. I think it is. So I'm going to need to scribble this down here. We got 10 times x minus 1 quantity squared plus 4 times x minus 1 quantity squared. Okay. So if you're not paying attention in this problem, you could be spending a whole lot of time that's really not necessary when expanding this thing out and getting it into standard form. If you're not paying attention. Right, so instructors put things like this on test for students who don't understand the full concept that should, so they end up spending more time than they need to be. Well, let's take a look at this. We've got both of these are really like terms here. We have an x minus 1 quantity squared and x minus 1 quantity squared, except what's different is their coefficients. Okay? And so all we need to do is just add both these terms together. So we have 10 plus 4 is 14. Now, if you weren't paying attention and you went ahead and expanded this out and then distributed the 10 across and then did the same thing over here, you'd be spending a whole lot of unnecessary time, let me tell you. But what we could do now is expand this out to x minus 1. Whoa. I don't know what happened there. Right, and then x minus 1. Okay, and let's go ahead and you know what, let's just go ahead and multiply that 14 inside. Why don't we do that? There's supposed to be an x right there. And now we can go ahead and multiply these guys together. I'm going to actually rewrite that part. Alright, so we have 14x times x is going to be 14x squared, and then 14x times this minus 1 here is going to be minus 14x, and then we got minus 14x, let's see, 14x squared minus 14x minus 14x, okay. Some just didn't seem right about that, and then we have a plus 14. Okay, so getting this in standard form, we have 14x squared minus 28x and then plus 14. Alright, standard form. Yeah, just seemed like something just doesn't seem right. But anyway, but it is. It's all good. Yeah, let's click on that. 14x squared minus 28x plus 14. Yeah, plus 14. Alright. So we're over here at gotomath.com. Come on by, practice. See you later. Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com. Hopefully you're able to work on this page. I know that some web browsers you have difficulties with. I know you have to enable JavaScript on Windows, or if you're using Explorer. I do know that for sure. If you're using Chrome, you shouldn't have any problems. However, up in the browser bar, you might have to click on the little shield up there to enable JavaScript. It's unfortunate if you're not able to use this page. Anyway, I kind of mention that every once in a while. I did redo the website and put a page up for algebra calculus for right now. We'll be adding other courses in the future, but where you can just click on the video. And usually for most students, that's all they need is to see the video. They don't want to practice the problems. They just show me how to do it, and there you go. We got x minus 4 raised to the 4th power. This is not going to be nice, I can tell you right now. Expand out, multiply, put in standard form. Okay, so well, we have 4 of them here, and we'll have to multiply 2 at a time. Isn't that lovely? So we got x minus 7 times x minus 7. So we're going to do these two here first, okay? So we have x times x, and that's x squared. And you know what? I just thought of something, but I'll tell you here in just a second. So x times, that's minus 7x, minus 7x, and then plus 49. So we end up with x squared minus 14x plus 49. Now, there's no sense really in taking this now and multiplying it by this one here, because we already know what this is equal to. It's equal to this guy right here. So why don't we just go ahead and do this? Now that I think about it, plus 49. Okay, since we already know what x minus 7 times x minus 7 is, well, there it is again. This time now, we're going to have to multiply all this out. So that's the reason this is 10.1. Things are getting more complicated. Okay, so we have x squared times x squared. That's going to be x to the 4th power. And then x squared times minus 14x. Alright, x squared times 49 is plus 49x squared. Alright. Now we're going to do this one. We're going to multiply that by each one of these terms, and then we'll do 49 and multiply it by each one of the terms. Okay, and I think I'm going to end up running out of room over here on the right, so I'm just going to write this down below. Okay, so we got negative 14x times x squared. So hopefully this doesn't confuse anybody. Negative 14x times negative 14x is going to be a positive something. And I think I'm going to cheat on, use the calculator on this one. So 14 times 14 is 196. 196x squared. And then we're going to have negative 14 times 49. I'll let you do that in your head. I'm sure there's some people out there that can probably do that, but because I have to be correct here for sure, I'm not taking any chances. So 686, what are we doing? That should be an x, right? Yep. Alright, well let's go down to the next one here. 49, so that's 49x squared. And then we got 49 times negative 14, which we already did. Did we do that? 49 times 40. 49 times, yeah, I mean, we got some symmetry going on here. That was 686 x. And then we got 49 times 49, so that'd be 49 squared, right? Ooh, nice number. So we got plus 2401. Alright, what we'll want to do now is collect up all our like terms. Well, we only have 1x to the 4th in all this. Alright, so go ahead and write that out right here. X, excuse me. We have an x cubed. Let's go ahead and underline this. We've got an x cubed here, and there should be more than one x cubed here. Negative 14x, that should be a cube right there. I knew there was something going on here. I'm sure there's probably somebody out there that's seen that. Well, I wasn't wanting to use green, but blue again. Yeah, that should be an x cubed. Okay, so we have negative 14x cubed, negative 14x cubed, and that's going to be a negative 28x cubed. All right. Okay, so we got a 49x squared, 196x squared, 49x squared. Alright, 49x squared. So 49 plus 196 plus 49. That's going to be 294x squared. Okay, we got those out of the way. Alright, so we have negative 686x minus 686x. So that's going to be 686 times 2, really. 1372. 2x, and then of course we only have one constant term. 2401. Okay, so I sure hope that's it. Take a deep breath. We got x to the fourth minus 28x cubed, 294x squared, minus 1372x, 2401. Okay. Holding my breath. Alright, well, there it is. We're over here at GoToMath.com. You can come on by practice. See you in the next problem. Okay, we're over at GoToMath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplication. And we are doing 10.2, it looks like. 10.2. Alright. 10.2. So we have 4 times x plus 7, quantity squared, plus 8 times x plus 7, and plus 4 on the end. Right, expand the expression, write in standard form. Got it. So rewriting 4 times x plus 7, quantity squared, plus 8 times x plus 7 plus 4. Okay, so we can't combine these because these aren't like terms. They have power. If you notice their power, their exponents, I should say, are different. This is a 1 assumed to be here and a 2. So we can't just add these together. Okay, that'd be nice, but it ain't happening. Okay, so let's go ahead and expand this guy out here. So we have 4 times x plus 7 times x plus 7. Now you can go ahead and distribute this 4 across inside if you want. We could wait to the last second, but we'll go ahead and do it now. Alright, so let's go ahead now. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and distribute this 8 across. Just because we can. Right? 8 times 7 is 56 plus, don't forget the 4 out here. Now we're just going to work on this part here. So we have 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times 7 is 28x. 28 times x is 28x, and 28 times 7 is 40, 196. I don't know. Find out what it is. Ooh, it was 196. You know, it's like the first number that came to my mind. That's amazing. Alright, 196. And you know what? Let's just clean this up before we go any further. So 4x squared plus 56x. Is that 56? Yeah. Plus 196. Let's go ahead and add the rest of what we had over here. So this is plus 8x plus 56 and then plus 4. So now what we want to do is collect up all our like terms, and we've only got one with the exponent of 2, power of 2. We got, what do we got going on here? We got 56x, and we have 8x. So 56 plus 8. 64x, we have 196 and 56. And 56 is 252. I need to go ahead and add the 4 to it. I don't know what I'm thinking there. Ooh. Okay, 196, so that's 252, 256, 256. Remember when RAM was 256? Seemed like it wasn't too long ago. That was amazing, isn't it? 196. Yep. So there you go. 4x squared plus 64x plus 256. I think RAM was 256, like 256 megabytes or something. Crazy. Yeah, what are you going to do with that today? I tell you, you're not doing much. 4x squared plus 6, is that what we had? Yeah, plus 256. You're not going to be doing much of anything. Yeah. Okay. What are we doing? We're over here at Go To Math. We just finished up this section for now anyway. Moving on into the next section. I'll see you there.